Hello everybody and welcome on into the first video of 2024, which of course is my What If Season 2 CMF series. Over the past week that What If Season 2 has been releasing every single day, I have drawn 12 characters from the show. Now of course there was 9 episodes, so some of these characters have overlapped with each episode. But without further ado, let's get on into the first figure of this series, which of course is Corpseman Nebula. This is from What If Season 2 Episode 1, What If Nebula Joined the Nova Corp. And for this figure, I had a lot of fun drawing, especially because it's a different version of Nebula, which we don't normally get in LEGO. For this version of Nebula, I gave her Yondu's fin from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, this time in the dark red color, of course, with the golden Yaka arrow. These are two similar pieces, similar to what I used for my Kraglin minifigure with my Phase 5 Part 1. I gave her the classic Nebula face there with an all-new scowl, as well as an all-new torso print with some arm printing there, showing the Nova Corps armor underneath Yondu's jacket there with a brown sash going down the side. Of course, on the legs it is dual molded with some side printing there as well, carrying on from the boots and the sashes there. As well as for an accessory, I gave her the massive gun she uses at the finale of the episode. And from the same episode, we also have Howard the Duck. This is, of course, his kind of gambling king outfit from the first episode, and for him I gave him an all new head mold, which is of course one singular piece with the sunglasses as well as the beak being dual molded there. I also gave him an all new torso print which carries down into the small legs there, which have side leg printing there with the brown shoes. I also gave him a playing card as an accessory, as well as a translucent orange chalice as his drink. As you can also see on the right, you have the poster from the episode, which is carried all throughout the series as each episode got its own poster. And for our first minifigure of episode 2, we of course have King T'Chaka, also known as the Black Panther. For this figure, I had quite a hard time, especially with this episode, as a lot of the outfits we already have in LEGO. For instance, Hank Pym, for instance, this is the same outfit from Civil War, so I just updated the prints a bit, as well as gave him an all new cape piece which goes around the shoulder and connects into the legs there. It is the same one that King T'Chaka wears in the episode. As well as for more playability with this figure, I gave him an extra head and hair to show King T'Chaka underneath. Of course, you also have the poster there on the right. And for the second minifigure from What If Season 2 Episode 2, I of course had to include Peter Quill. This is of course his younger version, as this episode is based off of what if Peter Quill was actually dropped off with his father. So of course I gave him as an accessory Ego's expansion, which has the leaf piece in dark green, as well as has a all new branch piece in the coral color. I also gave him an all new hair piece, recreating the shaggy look that he has, as well as his headphones there, which I know isn't very accurate as he does have earbuds, not headphones, but I thought since it does go with Peter Quill's look, I would include the headphones. I also gave him the mid-legs in navy blue with a bit of printing there on the hips as well as the legs itself, as well as an all-new face print and torso print there with a slight bit of arm printing there just to add some wrinkles into the flannel that he wears. Now moving on into episode 3, we of course had to include the Freak from the What If Happy Hogan Saved Christmas. This was honestly another hard character to include, as I didn't want to do a just normal Avenger made into a Christmas outfit. I wanted to include a iconic character from this episode, so I had to include Happy Hogan as the Freak. Of course, this is Happy Hogan mid-transformation. As you can see, one shoe has fallen off as his leg is turning into the Freak there, which you can see the actual picture of the Freak up on the right there. Both arms are turning purple, as well as the serum that he injects himself with. And of course, his head, which I referenced off of the new Bruce Banner head, you have the purple veins there, as well as the magenta eyes being taken over by the Freak serum. And now for episode 4, we already got a Lego set for it, so I wanted to include basically the same character that we got from the CMF of this episode, which of course is a version of Gamora. This version being the regular outfit that Gamora wears throughout this entire episode. I thought we have never gotten a normal suit of Gamora from the first Guardians film and from this one, so I thought that since this character actually looks really, really cool, as you can see with the image up on the right there, I wanted to make it into Lego. So she uses the Miss Marvel hairpiece with the base color of black, dual molded with, of course, red there, with an all new face expression, looking very unamused with Tony Stark. I also gave her an all new sword, as we need a sword mold for Gamora as her actual sword, which is what I did right there, just modifying the katana piece. I also gave her all new shoulder attachment there, which is an all new armor piece in gold with a lot of dual molded arm printing right there, as well as an all new torso, as well as legs there. The episode was really hard to do, as all the figures we have already gotten in this episode, so it was pretty easy. So I had to resort to a pretty basic character that has shown up all throughout the Marvel Universe. And now for probably my first basic figure of the series, which it was really hard to find a character also for this episode. We of course have What If Captain Carter Fought the Hydra Stomper, and for this I decided to go with Secretary Barnes, which of course is the alternate version of Bucky Barnes from this episode, where he takes over Secretary Ross's position as Secretary of State. And now for this episode, again, really, really hard to find the character. I could have gone with the Wasp, but I felt like this one was more of a unique character. He is pretty basic though, coming with a navy blue suit there with dual molded legs for, of course, the shoes. He comes with a regular pole as his accessory to show his walking stick, and an all new face expression with the Captain America hairpiece, which is, of course, dual molded with the light and dark gray as seen in the episode. But now for a much more unique and detailed character, we have Atarax from episode 6, What If the Tesseract Fell on the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. And this episode was so fun. We were introduced to so many unique characters, and for that I had to include Atarax, as I did include Kahori in my Marvel Phase 5 Part 1 series. So for him, I gave him Valkyrie's hairpiece, this time modified with a little spot for you to attach the all new feather piece there at the back, as well as I gave him an all new face expression, torso print, as well as leg printing there, with the legs being dual molded as well as having side printing there. Same with the torso having side arm printing, which I think worked out really, really good with all the markings and prints throughout it. I wanted to show his kind of Tesseract energized form, and for that I also included a little rock that he is making float in the air as seen in the episode there, as well as the poster as you can see on the right, and I also gave him an all new cloth piece to go around his waist. Up next is a redesign of a character that was shown in episode 7, and that of course is Hela the White, is what I've heard people call her. And this is of course Hela after she has been cleansed after being dropped on Earth. Of course, I just recolored a lot of parts from her pre-existing minifigure. I gave her her crown piece, which is actually an all new piece, taking out the eye holes, which came in the Thor Ragnarok set, and this time doing it in white. I also gave her all new torso printing, which carries down on into the legs for a little bit more of printing there. I also gave her side arm printing, as well as a cape and a spear in gold. She also has a neutral face expression to show that she isn't the angry killer that she once was. Now getting into the final 2 episodes of Season 2, we have probably my favorite episode out of the entire series. This is, of course, Wanda Merlin from the episode What If the Avengers Assembled in 1602. And this episode was such a fun concept with such an amazing roster of characters. I wish I honestly could have drawn all of them. They were actually pretty complicated too, especially Captain America's outfit. That was crazy to do, and without all the reference photos, I probably would not be able to draw him. But here we have Wanda Merlin coming with an all new hairpiece, which is similar to the one that she got in the first Marvel series. However, this one has a bit of a modified look. Also, the crown is in silver with some gray printing on there. You can also see I gave her an all-new expression showing her shocked face as Captain Carter actually surprisingly falls through the hole. That is a little spoiler there, so sorry about that. She also comes with the pauldrons in dark red, as well as an all new torso print carrying down into the dress piece. I know I probably should have used the actual black legs that she usually has with a skirt piece, but I felt like the dress leg piece would have worked a lot better. I also, for an accessory, gave her 2 discs in translucent red to show her using her powers. And for the final figure of this episode, I decided to go with, of course, the character that stands right next to her in this scene, which of course is Sir Fury. This is the version of Nick Fury that is the King's Guard in the episode. For him, I gave him a pretty standard Nick Fury look with nothing too special other than some side arm printing, side leg printing, as well as a all new face print which has a little mustache and goatee, which I think looks really good, as well as a foil as an accessory to show his 1602 kind of style with the sword. Of course, he has an all new torso print carrying down into the legs with a slight bit of leg printing. And while this figure might not be as detailed as I hoped it to be, the last figure in this series totally makes up for that, as I made Captain Carter Infinity Armor. This is from the finale of What If Doctor Strange intervened, and this episode was wild. There was so many cameos, so many crazy plots in this entire episode. And for her, I gave her the same crown piece that I used on Hela with Hela the White, this time just being in the neutral color in the black with the green accents. Of course, I gave her a new face for Captain Carter, showing a more skeptical and angry or worried face as she is fighting the overpowered Strange Supreme. I also gave her an all new armor piece right there, which is printed with the Union Jack logo right there, as well as an all new sword in that sickly green, as well as the same shield that she came with in the first Lego Marvel series, with some of the same printing, but some of it's not really same printing. She has dual molded arms as well as dual molded legs, which both have side printing there, which I think is just the extra step to make this character look super detailed. But there you have it. That is all figures completed, and this series was so fun to make, and I can't wait till Series 3, which actually has already leaked. Surprisingly enough, it leaked even before the last episode release. But of course, this set would not be done without the box art here, which is Series 1. There's 12 to collect. Here you have 7 of the minifigures on the front here with the What If Season 2 logo. This is set 76351, as well as you have all the info there, which is new and what I have started adding into my CMF figures. And yeah. But that may just be the box art, but of course that's not the final box art, which of course is the massive box that these figures come in. So here you have it in all of its glory, here with the What If Season 2 logo smack dab in the middle, with the Disney Plus logo on the side, the Lego minifigures branding, as well as the set number right there with all of the boxes in their respective rows. Anyways guys, that is it for the video. If you guys did go on to enjoy, please make sure to subscribe and like the video, as it shows me what you guys like to see, as well as it pushes me out to people who may also like to enjoy my content. But anyways guys, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next time.